Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 7. It is a Saturday, which means we're doing up a build video. So I am over here on the desert palace that we've been working on a little bit, that we're going to turn into a city. And there's been a few little bits and pieces happening. I've moved some stuff down here, so I moved all the chests that were up there down here, and I've started to fill these up correctly. I've also moved the airship down here so that they start spawning down here. I've also made a gigantic mistake, and that mistake comes in the form of this grand treasure chest. As you can see right now, I can't actually pick this guy up. I can take this out, and even then, I can't actually pick this up. So with these guys, you can pick them up when they don't have anything in them, but the grand treasure chest, I've been trying for ages. No matter what I do, as soon as I hit E, it will just open the treasure chest up, and I can't get rid of it. So for the moment, it's just gonna sit there with one block in it, and that's gonna have to be it. I might even have to now change a little bit of the idea for the downstairs area here, just because I now need to work around the fact that this is going to stay here for a very long time. So I need to do a blog post about this. I'll probably do that later on in this week. It may have already gone up, but we'll see about that later on. So there's also been a bit of work done up the top here, and bam! So I've got rid of pretty much everything that was going to be a pain for me to get rid of. So all of the trees are gone, all of the walls are gone, all of the bone fragments are gone, which actually worked really well because this week's community quest was all about getting bone fragments, and all we're left with is sand, dirt, and stone. So what I'm now going to do is go through and clear out this entire island. I'll probably leave the floating islands in for just now. I probably won't touch them unless I need more stone to fill out this entire bottom area, because I really do want to get this entire bottom area filled out. The only thing is, I was going to do a time-lapse for this, and I was really keen to do a time-lapse of tearing this island down and just obliterating it. I've got 4 sets of pickaxe of demolition, so I was hoping that that was going to be enough to do this. Unfortunately, my internet has been a little bit flaky. I keep kind of dropping out, so I'm not actually going to be able to have 2 accounts on this internet all at the same time to allow me to actually do my time-lapse, which is a gigantic pain, because it would be amazing to do a time-lapse of tearing all of this stuff down. Tearing all of this down, though, is a pretty big job, so it may not even all get done this week, but I will kind of keep you updated and do some jump cuts and things, and if my internet kind of gets a little bit better, we might end up doing a little bit of a time-lapse of this in this episode. But I don't know, like I said, the internet around here is being a little bit screwy, so I don't really know for sure that I'm going to be able to do anything with this at all. So I'm going to, grab these pickaxes out, kind of run through this island really quickly. I'm also going to try and start blocking out areas that I want things to happen in here too, so that we can kind of jump cut back here and I can talk about like where things are going to be placed down, and you're going to be able to see where things are going to go based on where I've placed blocks down, or roughly where I've placed blocks down. I haven't really counted out all my blocks yet and know exactly where things need to go, but that is the plan, is to kind of try make something up that I can start placing down decor items and all of that kind of stuff on, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on down here. And then one of the big things I want to do is make a big T-piece across the middle here with rails. But more on that once we actually get some of this stone down and on the ground. So the destruction is coming along very nicely. As you can see, I have cleared out an entire track up through the middle, and I just really want to point out this map. Check that out. Look at how awesome that looks. It just kind of looks destroyed. It's almost like a big laser beam has kind of gone through the middle of the island, knocking stuff out. And I really like that. It looks really cool. But of course, it is not going to stay like that. Also, the other thing is I kind of feel like I'm doing a trench run when I run down this thing. Like a trench run down the Death Star, just because of the way the whole thing has been ripped out and ripped apart. And as you can see, my pickaxes are getting pretty low down now. I've got an inventory almost full of dark stone. I kind of have to keep going over down there and dropping off other bits like sand and wisp stone. Wisp stone? Yes, wisp stone. So yeah, that chest over there is getting quite full of other random bits and pieces as well. But this hasn't actually taken all that long. It has taken these 2 pickaxes, but Yeah, when you're flying through the middle of something and just whacking at it, it really doesn't take very long to get all the way through to the other side. It's just so quick and so easy, and oh, I love all of the builders' tools. They just do such a marvelous job, especially when you're trying to destroy things like I am. So I think it is time to kind of keep going on, destroying these pickaxes completely. Wow, okay, I don't even know where I am right now. Let's get back out to the trench. There we go. Yeah, so we're just going to destroy these pickaxes completely. Once we've destroyed those completely, we will lay down a layer of stone, because we'll probably have an inventory full by that stage. I'll probably also have wrecked out the entire middle of this island, because I think that's where I'm going now, is to go through this bottom layer and take all of this out as well. It's going to look really good on the map too, I think. But yeah, so there we go. This is definitely, because I'm not doing a time lapse, we're going to have a few cuts here and there of me destroying this place out. So yeah, let's keep going and get this place finished off. So, even more progress has been made over here. As you can see, we've now got a very, very large T-piece running the entire length and width of this island. And we've got a bit of a crossover down in the middle here. And this is the exact center of the island, or at least as close as I'm going to be able to get to the exact center of the island. So that is it right here. Now, having done all of this and added all of this stuff in, I want to start adding down the rails. Now, as you can see, I am nowhere near finished clearing out this entire island yet. There is still lots and lots and lots to go. I have only got half durability left on these pickaxes. So as you can see, I'm probably going to go through another 6 or 8 or 12 pickaxes before we even get close to finishing off this island. But what I want to do now is, because I've got this kind of set up and ready to go, I really want to get to the point of starting to put down tracks. So, as you probably saw in my inventory here, I've been collecting up a whole bunch of groundwood and a whole bunch of grey iron, because we're going to be making these tracks out of grey iron rods and groundwood planks as well. So this is going to be a very, very, very big build, and it's going to take up a whole lot of resources, but I think we're up to the task. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is, I'm not sure if I want to do this here or if I want to do it down there. I think I might set it up down the end here, because it's just going to be a little bit nicer to have all of my workbenches and stuff set up down here. So I'm going to quickly create out a little bit of a pad down here, fill out this area a little bit so that I can have a crafting station pad down around here. And then once we've kind of got a little bit of a pad set up that we can do all of our crafting on, I'm going to throw down all of those things that I have and start crafting just absolutely buttloads of everything, because this island is 192 by 192. Now, I don't intend to have the rails go all that way, but I definitely need to go at least 100 blocks. And I'm going to have 4 runs of rails down each of the T-pieces. So that is going to be loads and loads of rail. That's going to be at least 800 rail sections, and that's on a conservative estimate. So this is going to be a very, very big build, and yeah, 800 sets of rails is just a whole load of everything. So all of the stuff that I have right now, while it does seem like I have a lot, I've got over 1,000 wood and over nearly 1,000 grey iron chunks. That is going to disappear very, very quickly. That's not even going to make 2 runs down this thing. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting thing, and it's probably going to take me a long, long time to gather all of the resources for it. I think one of the other things I want to do is maybe buy another island, buy a jungle or something with the colors of wood and stuff in it that I really want, because that is going to help out quite a lot in getting this thing up and running. So now we've got this little pad set up, let's go ahead and throw down all of our bits and pieces. So we're going to throw down all of our saws. That did not go right. We're going to set all of the saws one on top of the other. There we go. Bam, bam, and bam. That's off center, but oh well. That's going to do just fine for now. So we go, actually, let's just throw everything all on top of each other. We won't throw the lathes on top of each other. I think we'll just throw those kind of like this, so I can get access to everything from one spot. So let's go ahead and start making up just lots of everything, basically. I'm going to start also throwing on some of the rails in here. Just make sure I have everything I need for the rails. Rails, iron rod, and wood plank. Yes, perfect. Alright, so this is going to take a very, very long time to craft up. Oh, and I'm already out of grey iron rods, and that is only 8. So as you can see, this is going to take a lot of resources and a lot of materials to get this going. So I'm going to stand here and craft up a whole bunch of stuff. This is going to just be a whole bunch of clicking. But hopefully we'll be able to do this pretty well, and I'll be able to start laying down some track. While this stuff is going, of course, I will go back up to the island, start taking out more of that, because that all needs to come down too. So there's just obviously lots and lots and lots of stuff to be done in this build. The crafting here has taken a long time, but if we have a look at my inventory, this is what we're down to now. We're down to 926 logs and 1 grey iron chunk. And where has that got us? So we've got 6 waiting over here in the lathe, and then we have a look in here. We've got 49. So not even a whole run, and I was on nearly 1,000 iron. So this is going to take a lot of iron. It's going to be ridiculous. But anyway, we do have 49 of these right now. So I'm actually going to start laying track, I think, from the middle section here. So this here is the middle line. So there's that middle line. That there is that middle line. I'm actually standing right in the middle. That's that middle line. Okay, that's that middle line. That is that middle line. So I want a piece there, a piece there, a piece there, and a piece there. Okay, so basically the whole idea here is going to be there's going to be 2 runs going this way and that way. Oh, that's not where I want that. I want that come back here. So okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, 1 in the middle, and I'm going to run out of these rails really quickly, aren't I? Okay, so here we go. So the plan, kind of, sort of, is to run, so 2 down this middle, and then 2 down that middle, and then we're actually going to sit another one, probably another 1 out, but these aren't actually going to cross over the center point, if that makes sense. So there's going to be another set of rails here, but rather than having them cross over the center point, they're actually going to kind of go this way around, like so. So basically, I'm just going to lay out a little bit more of the track in the middle here, so it's a little bit more apparent what's going on and what's going to happen with these things, I think. Yeah, we just want to have it set up like this, maybe? Yeah, we'll see about all of that. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to do something here because getting enough iron to do this build is really going to be the big job. I honestly thought that the wood was going to be the one that gave me the hassle, but it is definitely going to be the iron that actually gets me on this build, I think, because that's what we've run out of now. I still have hundreds of groundwood plank and hundreds of groundwood log, and yet I am completely and totally out of iron. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so this is what this is going to look like, and then if we go down in here, I'm going to go up to about that point. Bam, bam, and I'm out. Alright, so that is exactly what we got out of almost 1,000 iron. Oh, this is going to take so much digging, but it's gonna be done. I've wanted to do this build for forever, so we are going to get this build done. I'm thinking that this episode I might go grab a little bit more iron, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to build the very first part of the very first rail station down here, and we're going to try and hook these things together. But as you can see, 1,000 iron does not get me very far in this build, so I might have to consider the way I do this, and I may even have to just start throwing random metals at this. So it's going to kind of break the look a little bit, but I think it's going to be better for everybody because it's going to stop me from having to farm and mine thousands upon thousands upon thousands of iron. Oh well, that is what I now need to go through and do. The other thing I should probably point out that has happened is that while I was waiting for those things to be done, I came over here and started filling out just this kind of half section over here, a little like 3rd or 4th or whatever this is. So as you can see, that's kind of how much I got done. I kind of ran myself out of blackstone while this stuff is crafting up. I managed to do this much here. So this is going to be, it's just a big build by all proportions. And this is only the bottom layer that we're doing. We're also going to be doing the same thing again, probably at where this height is, maybe a little bit higher. We're going to throw down a layer of grass and start building big buildings over top of that as well. So just this whole build is going to take me a very long time. I'm glad I've started now because it may take me to the end of the alpha to actually finish this build. Hopefully the end of the alpha is not too soon, because if it is, this build is not going to be finished and I'm going to be really disappointed if that's the case. Alright, anyway, I've got lots and lots more work to do, so I'm going to keep plodding on through and I'll catch back up with you guys when we've got a little bit more stuff done on this island. Okay, so a little bit more progress has been made. There is almost an entire pad out over here. We've just got a little bit left over in that corner to go. All of my crafting has been done, so I've basically converted all of my logs into planks, which is a great start because that means that now when I get a little bit more iron, we'll be able to pump on through and make a few more rails. So the rails haven't really changed too much. There's been a little bit taken out of the side here, but I did run my pickaxes into the ground. So probably saw just a second ago, we now have a whole bunch of pickaxes. We actually have 12 sitting on our inventory ready to go. So if this doesn't make it through at least half of this island, that's just going to be ridiculous. As you can see, I have been a little bit careless here. Some of these things do need to go, and they're just like single blocks floating here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, it's going pretty well. I mean, I'm actually really quite surprised at how much progress I've been able to make in this week. Just because I knew that these tools were powerful, but they are really quite powerful. And I gotta say, I love them to bits. All of the new explorer stuff, all of the new settler stuff is just absolutely magic. And I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without the help of all of that stuff. So anyway, I'm going to crack out the pickaxes here, and I'm going to start again to knock this place down. I might even go and drop a few of these pickaxes off in a chest or something, just so I've got a little bit more room in my inventory for items and supplies. But hopefully when we come back again, this entire half will be gone. That'd be nice. Anyway, let's see how far we can get. And half the island is gone. Check it out. That is absolutely awesome to see. I love this to bits. And I have gone through only a little bit of a couple of pickaxes actually. I've still got a fair few in here. So we've gone through one whole set and we've gone through just over half of a second set. So we should actually be more than good enough to get rid of the rest of this island as well. So the only thing that did kind of happen is I kind of started running out of storage a little bit. So I've added a few more chests in over here. Some of these aren't actually full of anything though, they're just kind of there to take any extra stone that I need as I go through. But yeah, we're getting pretty damn close to having this thing completely and totally stripped all the way down to the ground. And once we've done that, of course, we're going to have to keep going and fill in the rest of this island. I do want to go and try and find some more iron in a little bit, so we might do that after the next cut. I probably won't go out and show you the adventure because, of course, I have the adventuring episode that I show you guys all of that stuff with, so I'll probably just go out and attempt to find as much iron as I possibly can to bring it all back here and keep creating rails. I still can't believe that's how much I got from almost 1,000 iron. It's just, it's going to take so much iron. Anyway, that is something that I'm going to have to deal with as I continue on through, but for now, I think it's time to knock out the rest of this island, because if you have a look on the map, there's not much left to go, and I'm really excited about that. Just, all of the new settlers tools, I couldn't have done any of this without them, because it would have taken forever. Anyway, I need to knock this place out, and then we can keep going and keep working around here, and hopefully we can actually get some really good stuff done before the end of this episode. Oh, and there it is! The entire island is completely wiped out. Have a look at this place. It looks awesome! So, of course, the floating blocks you can see around here aren't actually blocks. They're just a little bit of a bug disconnecty thing between the client and the server. This has been around for every alpha that I've ever played. But it will be fine. It will clear up when I jump away from this island and jump back again. But for now, it is kind of cool, actually, to float around through the kind of just destruction layer that I've created by leaving all of these blocks behind. So yeah, there we go. This is it. This is all gone, and I can't believe I managed to do this in a single week. And then of course we've still got a little bit of pad placement down to do. I also do want to come back and do a little bit more on. Well, we're going to be stepping stuff down if I keep doing that. I do want to come back and do a little bit more, build up another train station. I need to go out and get a few more materials before we do that. We're probably going to build a train station in around here somewhere. Just in here, I reckon. And we're going to build it a little bit bigger than what we've got access to right now. I may only even just build kind of the platforms today and some of the rail sections today, because I am starting to run a little bit out of time for this episode. Well, that's because we've kind of done a lot of work already here for this week. So yeah, we're going to try and get something like that kind of sort of sorted out, and then we will probably end the episode there, I think, because I'm just so happy that this is all gone, but it has been a lot of work. So, I've been doing just a little bit of crafting. As you can see over here, we've got lots and lots of things on the go, and I now have 41 more sections of rail, which means I've gone through another almost 1,000 iron. And then over here, I've actually made a quick bit of a change down to the rail section over here as well. So, as you can see, the rail section is now actually 3 wide, or at least, sorry, has a 3 wide gap in the middle, and it's going to happen like that on all sections of rail. Just because I've thought that I actually might build a train in here somewhere, which you guys can come along and walk through. So I've kind of got a few ideas for that, but that is not going to be in this episode. I've got a lot more material gathering and resource gathering to get done before I do any of that. But what we are going to do for the very last little bit of this episode is we're going to build a little station down here. So the idea is going to have kind of 2 platforms with rails on either side, and then just kind of a nothingy gap between the rails in the middle, and potentially some pillars. But right now I'm only going to be working on the platforms and where the rails are going. I'm not going to worry about doing the overhead roof and everything like that. That's all going to happen probably next episode, I'd say. We just really want to get this thing up and running. But what I am going to do is we're going to fill this area out a little bit, because I need a little bit more space here. So I've got out some dark stone, and we're going to drop all of that down in and around here, because this is where our rail station is going to go. Probably from about here. I'm just going to add a little bit more stone out and around here, just so that I actually have a bit of a spot to build this station on. Hopefully this station ends up looking alright. I haven't really built a railway station before, so this is going to be a very interesting little experience. But I think it should be alright, and like I said, it's not even going to be completed in today's episode. It's basically just going to be the bottom section of the station, and I need to take off the blocks before I start placing blocks absolutely everywhere. Anyway, I think it's time for me to get a bit of a start on this. I've got some milkstone, which is going to make up our platforms, and I've got some sections of rail, which are, of course, going to be our sections of rail. So this is going to be where we start this place, and I'm just really, really happy that I've managed to get to this point in today's episode. And another very large amount of rail placed down, and we are running out of time for this video. So here you go, this is what the stations are going to look like, or at least kind of the very basis of the stations are going to look like. Obviously, up in here we're going to have chairs and benches and all that kind of stuff that you would normally see on a railway platform. And if I can get it to look right, I'll probably also include the yellow safety line strip thing across the middle here. Down through here in this kind of middle run, we're going to put some white pillars that go all the way up to the ceiling, because I'm thinking about having a very large apex ceiling that just kind of curves over top of both of the tracks, and then we're going to have walls at the end here. So along here is just going to be a really big wall, and it's going to have kind of nice train-sized cutouts to let these trains go through. I mean, obviously there's not actually going to be trains going through them, but I need to give the illusion that there will be at some point. So yeah, that's kind of how this is all going and where this is going. So obviously next time we're going to go out and grab a lot more white stone, because I am running out. But once we've grabbed all of that white stone, we will be building this entire station, and we'll actually probably spend the entirety of next episode maybe even just ignoring the rails and building the station from the bare bones here, because right now it is very bare bones and I don't have staircases in it. You can't really even get to these platforms. So it's going to be interesting to see where we go with that and how we do that. But I'm pretty confident that we can get this thing working and up and running. So yeah, that is it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next episode.